Okay, King-Ohger episode 40. Strap yourself in because for the next couple of months between now and the end of February, we're in for a wild ride as we get closer to the end game of this series. What do I mean by that? Well, thanks to a photo posted by Himeno's actress, we found out that King-Ohger will be lasting 50 episodes that will be ending on the 25th of February, I believe. So, get excited because King-Ohger is just getting crazier and crazier, and this episode was no exception, as this episode had kind of a different vibe going for it. It was all happy-go-lucky at the start of the episode, fun little crossover, and then halfway through the episode there was a big mood change as the ball dropped, as we got a big plot revelation in this episode. And that big bombshell, that big plot reveal, that was revealing that Gira is somehow the offspring of Doug Dreg. And I was very skeptical when I first watched the episode. I've gone back and I've rewatched the scene a couple of times, because when I first saw this plot twist being shown to us, I thought that this was the villain spitball, and I thought they were lying. I thought they were twisting the situation to win over the people, to fuck over Gira mentally, and get inside his head, so that way he could end up losing, because, Gira's kind of like the one they need to take down, because he's kind of an important figure. But the more you think about it, the more it kind of makes sense. The evidence is there that Doug Dag was able to control Gira in this episode, but the timeline makes sense. I mean, you had Gira going missing for a period of time where he no longer lived in the castle, and he went missing for a while. He was living on the streets and he kind of forgot who he is, and then he found out later on in episode 5 that he remembered that, he found out that he was royalty and he was related to Raculus. And then you've also got the fat attendants, I forgot his name, not Duga, the other one, the one that was Karmajin. He was around at the same time as well, and if he was Karmajin the whole time, then that probably had something to do with Gira going missing and no one being able to find him, and then Gira's memories going missing with everything happening. Because if Gira was like the son of royalty and he went missing for the longest time, don't you think people would have questioned it, or people would have known what Gira looked like if, people saw him back in the day and stuff like that, when the royals go on their walks? I don't know what they do in the King-Ohger universe, but, it makes sense, but then there's stuff that we need to question with how they're going to follow up with this reveal, because like I said, when I first saw it, I just thought this was the villain spitballing and telling lies and stuff like that, but there seems to be evidence to what they're saying. Now, the first half of this episode was Prince returning. He has his little cameo who shows up in the episode. We get a cool fight scene between him and Gira, which was pretty cool. It wasn't done mostly with the CGI background. They got the fight. I think they got the fight in the sort of the park background they usually fight in. So that was really cool to see. I did enjoy that. And it was cool to see Prince back again, because he was just somehow floating around in space because he heard the cries of Gawatira. So he just came out and took his friend and left. So yeah, there's that. But the Prince cameo, although it's cool, it's a very Poochie moment, because he shows up, has a team up with Gira, and then he just leaves because his planet needs him. And there's this tease that Daigo's back, because there's this moment where Gira says, "How's your planet doing? How's your universe doing?" And Prince is like, "Oh, it's doing okay. It's holding up alright. Better now that my master's back," which I am thinking that he's implying that it's meant to be Daigo maybe, or maybe the other Kyurujas. I'm not entirely sure, but there's that hint that he throws in there. But the Prince cameo, like I said, is like a very big Poochie moment, because like I said, he comes, he leaves, and then it's not brought up later on in the episode, because then it just jumps to that big plot reveal, that big background story reveal with Gira. So I do wonder if Prince will return later down the line in the show. But Apart from that, this episode did have some pretty cool moments in it. The scene where the ultimate god form, whatever it's called, King-Ohger, it's been a while since we've seen it. That form shows up in this episode, and it's a very Attack on Titan moment where it just kicks down the wall of shooter goddamn, and then you've got all these other bugs, Bugnarok, just marching beside him. And like I said, it's a very, very, gave me Attack on Titan vibes, I will say that, with the moment that happened in the episode. And then you've got this really cool episode where it looks like that the King-Ohger mech is going to destroy the country and probably most of the universe with how powerful, or the world with how powerful that mech is, but through the power of the Shoe God's souls and friendship, I guess, they were able to break control in the end and defeat the other Bugnarok in the end. So that's all saved in the end. You've also got the other King-Ohgers mostly out of this episode because they're injured from what happened last week from using the power-up they got from getting shocked by lightning, so they're mostly bandaged up in this episode. They do have a really cool moment in this episode when the Shoe Gods or the calibers start glowing. They remove their bandages and they have this montage where they're walking side by side. It did throw me out of the moment just for a brief moment where I had to rewind because when Himeno's walking, I guess because of how her heels are built, the green screen or sort of like the green screen layout did sort of like pixelate and flicker for a bit. You do see when she walks, if you pay very close attention, you'll see it. I thought it was because of the video file I had. I'm not entirely sure, but like she walks, and I rewinded it and played it a couple of times, and it looks like when she walks, it does mess up the green screen effect a little bit, but it's whatever. King-Ohger does have its weird green screen moments in this show, but overall, this episode was, like I usually say, quite the interesting one, because we got the big Gira backstory reveal, and I feel like we're going to lean more into that next week's episode with what we got on the preview, as we're getting our, once again, another fight between Gira and Raculus in this episode, in next week's episode, so we'll see that going down. So maybe while they're fighting, they'll have some dialogue between the two, and we'll get some more light on this background between the two of them, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, we'll see what happens in next week's episode moving forward. So, what did you guys think of the big reveal in King-Ohger? Are you a fan of it? Are you not a fan of it? Tell me in the comment section down below. Leave a comment, because comments help out these King-Ohger reviews, because, you know, they don't do so well in the algorithm, so I will be honest about that. But anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, take care, have a wonderful day or night, and bye.